Today, after I drink a little bit of water, I am enjoying a house blend. So one of the places I order cigars from is a place called Cigar Chief. And this company has done a crossover, I guess that's what it would be called, collaboration, sure, with Escobar cigars. So it's called Cigar Chief X Escobar. This one is a Connecticut wrapper. There's your Escobar logo. There's your Cigar Chief words. This one is only available from Cigar Chief, so there's not going to be a lot of variation in price. I think it's $7 or $8. I'm just inspecting the cigar. I see a couple little things like little cracks and stuff, but that's probably because I threw it in a bag before I came out to my car. You do have to be fairly careful with your cigars. There's the old band peeled right off. It's not a bad logo, classic gold on black with a little bit of cream. Let's see what we got in the cold draw. Well, it's a very good cold draw. In that I can feel the air moving through it nice and easy. The flavor profile is nothing astonishing at the moment through the cold draw. Just nice tobacco. And those cereal notes, I'm going to give it Rice Krispies. I'm going to light it up and see what happens. All right. So yeah, this cigar is about $8 or $9, something like that. So not terribly expensive. I'm getting a little J.C. Newman vibe, a little Brick House vibe off of this. It is a Connecticut wrapper, so it's going to have a little lighter flavors, not so heavy like the Maduro wrappers. Yep, I've been putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort into a pretty big project, and it should pay off. Gonna find out. Just some semantics that need to be sorted out. That's all. So it's kept me busy, and I haven't been doing videos as frequently as I would like to. Anyways, on the cigar, you know what? At the moment, not astonishing. It's not bad. Nothing wrong with it. So far, based on the flavor profile, quality of construction, the nice draw off of it, the $8 or $9 I paid for it, absolutely worth it. No complaints there. Like I said, some J.C. Newman vibes. Maybe leans a bit into Quorum. Quorum is a more budget-friendly cigar than this, but it's leaning into that a bit. Now, Escobar cigars, the one this is a collaboration with, tend to sit around $15 or $20. This is about half the price. So I'm imagining they've worked on this sort of budget solution to make it reasonably sellable. The same tobacconist, I believe, is working, I think it was Patron or Padron cigars. I don't know. They have another collaboration that's going to be available soon. I kind of like that. A tobacconist collaborating with a larger company. Now, we don't have a terribly even burn on this. We got quite the canoe action going on. Now, I did a pretty good job of lighting the whole cigar, and sometimes when it canoes, it just means the tobacco is more dense in one part of the cigar than it is in another. Not the end of the world, but, it's a thing. The initial cereal note was like a Rice Krispie. As we get into smoking it, we get it lit up. Yeah, I'm picking more like light bitter flavors, nothing too peppery, nothing too dark, nothing too acrid on the tongue. I do wonder what the nicotine count is on this. Some of these more cigars that are in the bolder bitter flavors have a little bit more nicotine. We're going to find out. full disclosure, I got through the first quarter of the cigar and I started to get a little bit of the nicotine sickness. Ooh, that end of that lighter is hot. So I let it go out and then I came back to it. So this will probably be about the end of the video. So for the Cigar Chief Escobar crossover or collaboration cigars, I will tell you this. This cigar is not for me. That doesn't mean it's bad. I am going to finish it. I went through 2 sessions. I stopped for a bit and I came back to it. Because the thing about it is you don't want to get that nicotine nausea. Don't be afraid to let your cigar go out. You don't got to soldier through. You'll ruin like an hour, 2 hours of your day if you let that nicotine nausea settle in. So what I think I'm learning is the cigars that are heavy in the more bitter flavors, not so malty, not so rich, but are more like strong, bitter, burnt tobacco flavors, I think are stronger in nicotine. It appears that way anyways, that when I smoke cigars in that flavor profile, I do tend to get a little bit of the nicotine nausea. I just come back to them later. It's fine. I'm a pretty skinny guy. So, it's only so much nicotine I can take before my body tells me to pump the brakes. Who I think this cigar is for? I think this cigar is for those veteran smokers. Guys who've been at it for a while, like something strong. It's going to have the nicotine in it. The bigger, burlier kind of fellow that might have been smoking cigars for several years. Nothing wrong with the flavor profiles. Nothing bad about it. It's okay. It's kind of basic. It's what I expect at that price range. At this price range, you don't often get something that's super fantastic. Like I said, it's falling into that J.C. Newman brick wall sort of flavor profile. A little bit of the quorum and some of those Alec Bradley flavors. Remember how I was on Alec Bradley, I got off of it and came back to it because they weren't really my flavor profile. Like, I'm finding a lot of stuff that I don't like in the Alec Bradleys in this cigar. Again, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not for me. I got 2 more from this company, and I'm sure I'll give them a taste down the line. But in terms of quality construction, it's good. You get a lot of tobacco. It's well rolled. Really good draw. Not my flavor profile. It's for someone who's a little more experienced of a cigar smoker than me. Or it's for someone who might want to smoke their cigar in 2 sessions. As I'm into the second, third here, we are getting a little bit more complexity. It's getting into that, like I can start to taste the fermentation of the tobacco, right? A little hint of that sort of Demerara rum thing. Not the sweetness part of it, the more umami and barrel-ish flavors. So if you're going to grab one of these as a more or less novice smoker, take your time. Don't rush through it. Don't feel bad about letting it go out and coming back to it. Might be a good cigar if you want to have like half the cigar, on a little 15-minute drive and another half later. We are starting to get a little nicer complexity as I get into it. Some of the maltier notes are starting to come through. Starting to get a little bit of that, shreddies kind of thing. Just before the nicotine nausea got to me, I started getting something that was like a musty rhubarb, which I've not gotten off a cigar before. So there's that. Yeah, so this cigar is definitely for those guys that like the strong, bitter, powerful, I ain't messing around kind of cigar smoker. I imagine maybe Tony Soprano smoking this one. Or Pablo Escobar, considering it's Cigar Chief cross Escobar. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, as always, I like to say, keep it a hobby, not a habit, and take her easy.